swirly.
Probably just going.
You're live.
In like a couple minutes.
No. Welcome everybody to the, I don't know, pick a number annual Fat Mermaids Make Waves at MerMagic Con. It's been a lot though.
Quite good. I think it's 8.
No.
I think this is 2018
I think it's 8.
or 2019 the first year.
I think
2019.
That makes 7.
Yeah, 7. But we didn't do this the first year.
Morgana said 8 at the group photo. So
All right.
it's
All
one
right.
of
So, all right. This is probably the 6th or 7th time doing this. I know we didn't do this the first year. I know for a fact we did not do this the first year. So, welcome. Thank you for being here. This is my favorite hour con / our swim hour. I'm Mermaid Monique, and next to me, I'm gonna read y'all's bios because why not? To look like a good host MC person. Next to me, you will find Mermaid Cetia, Jessica. I don't know how to pronounce your last name.
Gramps.
Gramps.
No one can. You're
I've never tried.
It's fun.
Gramps, like grandpa.
Yeah.
Okay. All these years, 7, 8, 9, 15 more years. Never knew. Jessica Gramps has been professionally bringing magic to the shores of Cleveland, Ohio, since she signed on with the Ohio Mermaids in 2018. But her dive into the mermaid world began late in 2016 when she changed course from pursuing a career as a ballroom dance instructor. Her hope is to prove magic exists in everyone, no matter their age or size. Star is a non-binary mer who's been making waves since 2017, primarily as a hobbyist. Star has done their best to absorb all the info they can about mermaiding and does their best to be a font of knowledge and an information resource for the community. Within the Society of Fat Mermaids, anytime I have a question that I'm unsure of or needs to check on mermaiding history, Star is one of the first people I will check in with. And who's besides that? Mermaid Montera, the manatee mermaid, has been performing professionally for the last decade. She owns the Sugar Sirens pod with 6 other mers, a couple of pirates, and 2 traveling tanks. She's performed at Renaissance fairs, pride festivals, LARPs, and other public and private events. She's also the director of the Monarch International Mermaid Pageant. Her catchphrase is, "Every body can be a mermaid." Melodia the Mermaid is from the bioluminescent waters of the Caribbean. With a song in her heart, Mermaid Melodia is excited to meet you. Melodia adores human fashions, making art, and storytelling. She's also passionate about celebrating differences and embracing diversity, which makes us unique. She has over 10 years of character performance and acting experience. As a full-time educator, she has taught and inspired elementary students for over 7 years. Melodia is also PADI certified advanced mermaid who is fluent in Spanish and English. Melodia made her debut as a performer in 2025 with the Appalachian Mermaid Society. And let's clap for Melodia. And we have Mermaid Pearly Whirl, also known as the Delaware Mermaid, who began her journey in 2019 and has been dedicated to this pack ever since. Pearly Whirl's mission is to promote body positivity, self-love, and emotional awareness. Welcome, everyone. And I didn't write down my own bio. I mean, I have one. Actually, I did. Wait, it's with everybody else's. Hold on. It's fine. I am sure.
I've never been here. I definitely have never met you.
Oh, that'll be a fun thing to talk about. I totally put my bio in the Facebook. Oh, okay, it's long. We're gonna read like the first 2 paragraphs. Mermaid Monique is a DC area-based mermaid performer, model, and motivational speaker. You may recognize her from Netflix's Merpeople or a feature on NBC, 60 Second Docs, or UK's Channel 4. Being a mermaid was a lifelong dream of mine. Mermaiding is my way of reminding the world that anything is possible. My high glam images spread messages of body positivity and defy stereotypes in a fun, celebratory way. There's more, but we'll stop there because it gets long. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all, lovely panelists. We've got, I think, 2 new and 3 returning. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is this audio okay? I feel like I'm hearing myself breathe in a weird way.
Yours is good. I'm concerned about the other mics actually being turned on.
Oh.
Mine is on.
Tasting, what tasting?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Jasper's is not.
Tasting.
Yeah, I did.
Hello?
Oh, okay.
We have sound now.
You're saying.
I'm unstoppable.
We've got someone. Fabulous. Okay. Who's a returning panelist? And who's a new panelist? Welcome. Yay. All right. I would like, this is so weird. I need to go to the end. I want to see all spaces. I guess like a straight line is a straight line for a reason, but it's weird. Okay. I see you now. Hi. Y'all, I want to have like an emotional check-in. Did anybody see where I like crashed out on Facebook the other night at 3 a.m.? No?
I may have.
You may have. I like wrote in the MerMagic mingling group. I'm like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm working on stuff for Con and everything sucks, but I love you and I'm gonna be here. Things have gotten better, somewhat, but I haven't slept much since 3 o'clock in the morning.
You
2
had
nights ago.
7 billion things to do, and you got it done.
Some.
Hey, you gave your best effort, and that's what's
Yeah, we're here. We're here. Students here right now. Yes, a mantra during class has definitely been the horrors persist, but so do we. And that's kind of where I'm at. So I want to just, I don't know, like, I feel like we're in one of those spaces where I'm so happy to be at Con. I really love this community. I'm super grateful for all of you. Also, the world is like every time you call the world a dumpster fire, it's like, oh, you thought that was a dumpster fire. Well, check this out.
I'm gonna add another bit.
Yeah,
the world
like-
said, hold my beer.
So
Put the beer in the dumpster. Also.
the
It makes the fire bigger.
Throw in some vodka. There you go, now we're cooking.
So I don't know. I just wanted to do like an emotional check-in. My status is I'm here. I really am glad to be here though. It's really this panel in particular is amazing. I think we consistently are like the most full panel at Con, and that's probably like if we can take like the ego of like the number out, is just a testament to how important this community is to all of us, and it really is like an honor and a pleasure to be here and talk about like get real and talk about like awkward stuff and fun stuff and whatnot. And so it's one of those like I haven't slept in a couple days, but here I am with like a bunch of people I adore, people I'm getting to know, and yeah, but I'm not like my most polished self. There was like no makeup today. I was just like, it's Mer sweats. So that's where I am. Like both, I'm all the ways, I guess.
I thought you were wearing eyeliner. You look like you are from here. It's just how your eyes naturally fall, I guess.
I guess so. I did put lip gloss on many hours ago.
Ate it. Snack later.
If we're being real vulnerable, I feel very much so the same. I am here. I am this little light of mine in the dumpster fire. I'm gonna let it shine. But I feel like I'm just real glad to be here because, like, getting to convention, I feel like we all sit down with our packing and we maybe implode a little bit. And we're like, okay, I need this, I'm gonna forget something. And you take all of these worries and your stresses with you and you put them in your bag and you zip it up. And then they don't actually come with you. You get here and you remember why you did all of this, why all the stress happened. And it's like, you know what? I'm amongst my people now. Like, this is okay. We're gonna, and maybe like, there's just a really strong power in community because, like, I don't know. I feel like that's why all of us keep doing this every single year. We're, so I'm in a similar space, but I'm doing better now.
Glad you're doing that.
I just pulled myself out of a pretty low point, like in terms of depression. Like, life is fine and normal despite the everything. But being here, having this event here every single year, getting to meet new faces, getting to see some people I only see during this, getting to that I adore, getting to hang out with people that I might have just met last year and enjoyed the company of, but I'm getting to know better. I'm looking at Katie. It's what makes shit worth it. Oh, sorry. It's what makes things worth it, even though life is horrifying and beautiful, is something I say all the time. The world is fascinating, intriguing, fantastic. And it's also full of but I'm okay. And I'm happy and I'm having a good time. And I needed this.
I'm exhausted. I am so tired. I don't know how I'm sitting on this panel right now. And after this, I have 2 back-to-back photo shoots. What have I done? No, I had a full-out crash out last week, which Star got to handle at 2 a.m. But we're here for each other. We're here for you guys. We're all here for each other. We're all gonna get through this. And I kept saying, as soon as I make it to the con, I'll be okay. I'll be okay once I get here and I'm surrounded by my people and my friends and everything will be fine. And that was absolutely true. So I just gotta stay awake for however many more hours. And we're fine. It's okay. We're okay.
We're Team Caffeine here.
Team caffeine.
If it's not fine, it will be fine.
Yes.
I was really anxious prior to this, and I was just trying to plan for everything. And honestly, just being here has been super recharging to see familiar faces, meet new people, and to see that excitement and whimsy. It's so great, and that's honestly what appeals about being a mermaid and bringing people into us. It's just like, oh, okay. So right now, I'm so excited, very happy to be doing this. And I wanted to also say thank you to my support network. I have a lot of fabulous friends that have been cheering me on, and I appreciate that. So thank you.
Hi. So I have really, really bad anxiety, but I wanted to test myself and accept Shay's invite. So thank you so much. And I love being a part of this community because, you know, before this, I didn't really have a family kind of like that. You know, I have my husband, which is in the back, but I don't have a strong support, and you guys are a family. I don't know. Thank you for inviting me.
All for being here through anxiety, through exhaustion, through nerves. I really appreciate it. I was talking to a couple folks last night, and it was at the Monarch pageant, I believe. We were doing interviews, and I noticed that like our community was not. So I was judging the pageant. Our community was not the strongest in the interviews, and so I think it's like. And I think there's a lot of systemic reasons why people in larger bodies may not do as well with public speaking. We tend to have less opportunities. We're taught to hide. It's like we take up all the space and then we're taught to hide. And so I think it's so important for us to have these opportunities to sit down, to talk, to get on a mic in a safe space. And maybe the next time you have to even present something at work, it comes up. Oh, that's a wonderful segue. How has mermaiding impacted your life outside of mermaiding?
So I have the privilege of working with students that are learning, I have the privilege of working with students that are learning English as a second language. And it is amazing to see their growth. And I see their frustration. I live that every day with my kids. So with certain students, especially if they need that motivation, I showed them my journey with mermaiding, starting, not being able to do tricks and such, and opening up over time. And we tell each other, practice makes progress. Keep on trying. Keep trying new things. You need to keep going. So that has really been a physical manifestation too. And can add a little bit of that whimsy, especially for those kids who really need it. So for me, it's been fabulous for that. And I know for me, it's also just helped my confidence balloon because I'm like, I look at our really, really tall ceiling, I'm like, oh, I can go there. I can swim that depth, that's fun. And I tell my students, it's like, you can do that. You can do more than that. So for me, it's been very positive.
Mermaiding has impacted my self-worth a lot and my self-image. I don't like my butt. I think I have a silly looking butt. I think it looks like an upside down triangle. But when I see pictures of my butt and tail, I'm like, ooh, that's a cute little booty right there. Not only that, but it has fueled me creatively. It started out of creativity. I got into mermaiding because I wanted to make a swimmable mermaid cosplay of a very specific design. And I never finished it, but I'm here now. But I am constantly working with new materials and learning new ways of doing things. I've been costuming for 18 years. But it has impacted my artistic life heavily. It has impacted my social life. Some of my best friends, like, I literally didn't know who was on the panel until I got here. Oops. But literally some of my best friends I met through this, literally MerMagic and literally mermaiding. And it has been such a boon to my life. And if nothing else, it's a neat conversation starter. It has given me so many friendships. Even MERS, not MERS, so many people. And I collect them and put them in the pouch.
I feel like I can talk about how mermaiding increased my self-confidence and how I used to see myself as just like kind of like I'm just a nerd, I'm invisible, I'm a bigger person or whatever. And then I put on a tail and everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're like, they didn't see all the things that I saw in myself, they just saw mermaid. And it's like, wow, that really impacted me. And that's a big part of it for me. But more than that, I think my favorite things that mermaiding has brought into my life that weren't there before is this feeling of freedom and escape. I now have friends that are like, I'm in Ohio of all places, and now I have a friend in Virginia, and it's like, okay, well now I'm just gonna go out there. Like I feel like mermaiding gave me the opportunities to learn how to travel. It gave me the opportunities to learn how to pack up my car and just go and give myself the permission to just go. I don't need to like sit and plan for weeks and weeks before I pick up and leave. I can just throw a couple of pairs of clothes in a bag in my tail and shove it in my car. I can just go. And that was the key that I was missing to like the gate of my life to like actually like do things and meet people and have friends and go on adventures. Like it's been huge. I think that's the greatest gift that it gave me.
Mermaiding for me has just been so many things. Like Shay said for my bio, I started in 2019 because of Shay. I saw her and I was like, oh heck, I can do that too, you know? And it made me feel so much more comfortable in my body. It made me love myself a heck of a lot more. So last year was actually my first time wearing a silicone top. I don't like my back rolls, but I'm trying to love them. And doing it now. I'm just cold right now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm also cold. But yeah, mermaiding for me is just, I don't know, like I said earlier, it's a big family. I've made so many more friends, and I'm blessed to be a part of this community, and it only thing I really look forward to every single year because I get to see everybody and all the smiles. So, and
I feel like this whole community that from mermaiding, we get as much out of it as we can get into it. It impacts so many other people that we encounter, that we come across. We inspire others to do things that they never thought possible. I mean, so many people come up to me at gigs and say, oh my God, you're so brave for doing this. I wish I could do it. And I'm like, do it. Just do it. And I love doing it as much as I love giving to other people to do it. It means as much to me as it does to them. And I just love the give and take of it. And it gives me something to look forward to as well. And it really does make it happen.
Do any of you have a time when being in a larger body has been an advantage for you in mermaiding?
Okay, so silicone tails are still hard to get into. And I know not everyone has to have a silicone tail. I genuinely, not everyone has to have a silicone tail. I look at some people, some itty people, and I look at their tails and I'm like, I have a hard enough time rolling mine down. I can't imagine yours. And even the fabric sometimes, I'm like, hello? How are you rolling that? How are you getting that? That's my leg. That is my leg. That is just one leg.
My favorite thing about being that has given me an advantage is like I remember when I went to do scuba diving, specifically because I was offered a mermaid gig, like you have to have a scuba cert. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, right? And we got in the water and they started just like, all right, so now for 2 minutes we're gonna tread water, and I just right?
I'm just sitting there. Me too. I am moving.
You know, everyone, we talk so much about wanting to get to the bottom of the pool, but we also don't have to struggle at the top. We can just, we are probably the most comfortable people to just kind of, we are in the flotation. Like, if someone was, if I needed rescue, somebody used to be like, okay, here. Yeah. I got you. I can do this all day.
I find that the floating is an advantage, and it helps. It lends to our endurance, so we can last in the water a lot longer. We also tend to not be as cold quickly. So I find that I'm like an hour, 2 hours in, and everyone else is like hot tub, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, let's keep going.
Yeah, I think it's much easier for us to put on a weight belt than it is for someone who is not buoyant to put on little water wings. You know, or a little inner tube for mermaiding, as cute as that would be, we can hide our helping equipment a little bit better.
I was just having this conversation today in my class. I run the weight belt basics class, and I had someone who's like, well, I'm someone who struggles with staying at the surface. Do you have anything in your class for me? I'm like, I got you. But like, let me tell you, there's a lot more challenges you're going to face finding things for this. And we were talking about the different ways you can sneak neoprene into your costume and how you can use plastic, things that float, and testing different things. But that journey is way harder than just belt.
And honestly, like with that, it's also, and it also contributes to this more, but learning the skill of buoyancy control, I feel like is a lot easier if you don't have a hard time staying afloat and you're not struggling against the water. I think that's another factor of it.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. Like, it might be easier to counter, if you're someone who has looked at yourself and been like, I want to be able to sing better and I'm tired of struggling to get that. I feel like the actual fix for that is a lot easier if that's your problem than the opposite.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a funny bad mermaid story. I went to teach mermaiding at a yoga retreat in Mexico. Dream job, need more of those. If you know anybody hiring for mermaid instructors at yoga retreats in Mexico, Bali, anywhere tropical, please. Yes, any of that. But it was really cool. It was kind of funny. They ended up putting me in a room with this girl who truly struggles to keep 100 pounds on. And everybody else was based in LA. So like everybody was like small, because that's just like LA culture, right? And so they got the biggest girl and the smallest girl in a room together. And we ended up really hitting it off. And she ended up also being from the DC area. So it was cool. But we go to the beach and we're on the Pacific coast of Mexico where the waves are like really rough. And I spent my entire childhood, every moment I could, which was really probably just 2 weeks in the summer, but as far as I'm concerned, it was every moment of my childhood, like at Virginia Beach, jumping waves, living my best life, since I was like a wee bitty little thing. But the thing is, when I was a wee bitty little thing, I was still a chunky wee bitty little thing. My dad called me Bruiser when I was 2, right? So like I had like that low center of gravity. And so like I never thought about how like smaller people navigate the ocean. I just knew how like I navigate the ocean. Even when I was small, I was big. And so she wouldn't even get in because you know how like the waves are like rough and you gotta get past that part, the break. And then you get up and it's chill. But like at like 95 pounds, she couldn't do it. So she's like, I'm gonna just wait for you here. And I was like, oh, like you don't even, because your body is your body, right? Like you take your body for granted. And you're like, oh, everybody has a body. Like it took me a long time to realize, like I was mermaiding for a while. I'm like, oh, like everybody would just float. Like me too. Oh, the tread test is exhausting. Like I didn't know that because I'm like, I have a body. You have a body. Like bodies do what bodies do. And it's like, no, we're all different. So she wouldn't go in, and I'm like, okay, well, you stay there. I'm gonna do the thing, and I like, you know, you kind of have to brace yourself, and you let the waves hit you, and you're fine because I'm a big girl with a low center of gravity. I bend my knees, and I like muscle through, and then I'm chilling. I'm like living my best life. I'm like jumping in the waves, I'm floating, having a bunch of fun, and then it is rough, right? Wave knocks my top off, and I'm like, oh, well, I can't flash the whole beach, so I dive under, and I'm adjusting my top. I have no clue how long I'm down there. Apparently, everybody at the shore, including my friend, is freaking out. She's like talking to this guy and like they're trying to figure out when she's gonna send him in to swim out after me. I'm just like, oh, now there's sand in it. I'm just like, and so I finally come back in with my top's on, and she's like giving me the mom thing. She's like, come back. And I'm like, 3 more waves. And I finally come back, and it's not until we're at dinner and she's telling somebody how I almost drowned that like I realized our miscommunication. And I'm like, oh, I didn't want to flash you, but it was also one of those like, oh, like because I do want to touch the bottom and I do want to sink, and some of the like tricks are harder for me. I do feel like my body is at some disadvantages for mermaiding, but I'm like, no, like literally, like I can get in the ocean easier. Yes, we can all drown. We can drown in 2 inches of water. And also, I got a lot of built-in flotation devices, so it's harder for me to drown. We do have that endurance in terms of temperature, and it really wasn't until that moment that I was like, oh, like my body was really made for this in some ways. It was very eye-opening. Citia, would you like to talk to us more about buoyancy?
I would love to talk to you more about buoyancy. Is there specific questions, or you just want me to nerd about this? I got this. Either way.
Nerd about it. Go for it.
So, I literally just packed up all my weights and ran in here. Hair's still wet. I'm pretty sure that so I've just done this. My favorite part about teaching buoyancy specifically is that everyone gets really, really shocked when I say buoyancy does not have to do with your weight. And it's such a body inclusive experience because buoyancy has so much more to do with where specifically the muscles are in your body, and the way that your bones sit, and where your fat sits. It's not necessarily how little of it you have. Someone who is a very, very large person can sink like a rock just based on their physiology, and someone who's very, very tiny can pop up to the surface like a cork. And I have lots of people who come to me and say, I think my body's broken. It's not doing what people tell me it's supposed to do. I'm like, nah, we got you. Come on in. There is a fix for all of this. And it's not even just sinking or floating. It's so funny. It's like, for me, my ankles are so floaty. If I don't weight myself properly, I'm upside down, like most of the time. Like I remember when I took my buoyancy test for scuba, and I remember my buoyancy vest was not quite equipped correctly. And I remember they're like, okay, so here's a laminated piece of paper and a gel pen. You have to circle the answers to your buoyancy test. while you're controlling your buoyancy underwater. And if your head hits the top or your feet hit the bottom of the pool, you're done. And I remember the instructor like trying not to laugh as I'm just. And he kept over, he's like, "You okay?" Totally normal. But it really does, and the more I teach this class, the more I find that every single body is so unique and so special. And all of us have like different things that we're good at, different things that we're not, and even just which direction you float in the water. Like it's so specific. But it really helps me learn to like, my body's not broken. I just need to treat my body, my specific needs suit, the way it needs to be treated in order to like make it function the way I want it to function. And I think that everyone can kind of access that too, you know? I could probably keep going, but I want to hog the whole panel.
It's about applying the skills. It's about applying the skills differently with what you are given. It's muscle density too, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like someone who might be two different people who have dense muscles might have them dense slightly differently, and one of them might be floaty and the other one might be sinky, right?
Today I had two very different people in my class. One person ended up having to like put like the weights like here, like hold them to themselves in order to actually like sink. And the other person like had like the weight belt like all the way down here on their legs. And they're like, "Is this right?" I'm like, I'm not sure that that's how it was designed to work, but this is how it's working for you. Like, let's lean into it and experiment a little bit.
As long as we're safe.
As long as we're safe, you always have a buddy, which is the biggest thing. No matter what you're doing in the water, always have a buddy.
Thank you. Does anybody want to talk about any intersections they have along with being a larger body person and how that may or may not impact your persona or just how you interact with the mer world?
Yeah, repeat the question. It's hard to hear down here.
Oh, okay. What is the question? Intersectional identity. Yes. Any aspects of your identity that you incorporate into your persona and how they impact how you interact with the world. Yeah. So, whether you're a person of color, you're non-binary, you're old, we're all fat, like how does that play into how does that impact your mermaiding in any way, if at all?
I mean, as a plus size person who decided I wanted to be a mermaid, I decided to be the manatee mermaid. I plushier, I am manatee shaped, and that's how I chose to identify. It was never something I was trying to hide. It was something I just leaned directly into, and that became a big part of my persona and who I am.
So my persona name is Cetia because Cetus is the constellation for the whale. And every time that I see it online, whale, I'm like, it's right there in the name. You're creative. but I feel like, I don't know, I enjoy leaning into it. I feel like it's not a bad thing to me. Like, whales are majestic and they're beautiful and they're graceful and they're large and they're strong. And when I think of a whale embodying that, like, I get excited about it.
Okay. So, like, in terms of intersectionality, first, let's get us out of the way. I don't really have a persona. It's just me as a mermaid. It's fine. In terms of intersectionality, as a queer, trans, non-binary, disabled person with chronic pain, I deal with mermaiding a little differently than other people. I'm like, all the different mers I meet will be like, "Oh, I don't think my body is right. I can't do this thing," especially as a disabled mer, and like a mer with chronic pain. I've been able to identify why some mers enjoy mermaiding because it frees them from their chronic pain. It frees them from their disability. It makes them feel, especially with people with mobility issues, the water makes you feel like you can fly. So many people can move so much differently. I got real stretchy joints. It's not official yet. I think I have HGDS. I know, as someone with, and we've spent a lot of time together before, and my partner who has HGDS is pretty sure that I have HGDS. But that said, I have swelling feet all the time. I have arthritis in my fingers, and I'm really struggling with that right now. And I am having a harder time putting on my tails and putting on my makeup, putting on my crowns because hands. But I will talk to birds that I meet. They're like, my body can't do this, my body can't do that. It hurts when this happens. One of my partners is here, and he has plantar fasciitis. And he was talking to me about, literally today, about how he was feeling so hurty and tired because of how the monofin is impacting his feet, which I think we can all understand. It is a common known thing in mermaiding that the feet thing, monofins can be really rough on your feet. Now it's less common than it used to be back when we had things like only the Mahina back in the day. But like, it impacts everyone in different ways. I've been able to get someone to realize that they had chronic pain or that they were disabled because they were like, I can't do this thing in mermaiding. And I'm like, oh, honey, it's not that you can't do, it's not necessarily that you can't do that thing. It's that your body is just different and you just gotta learn to go around it. And if you have those problems and you're plus size, even more so, I'm sorry, I'm hypercorporal. If you have those things and you're plus size, it's even more so. I can't put my feet in a monofin the way that people show in YouTube videos where you bring up your knees to your chest basically and grab your monofin. I can't put on fin pun fins. I can't do it. Both because of disability reasons and because my tummy gets in the way. It's just, you gotta find different ways of approaching things. And it takes time, and it takes a desire, like a drive. I can keep going, but I'm the yapper.
So mine isn't necessarily directly correlated with
Sorry for stabbing you.
plus size. I'm actually going to talk about my hair. So I'm a person of color. I am Puerto Rican and Dominican. And it's something I've noticed in mermaid world because I'm newer at this. And I was like, oh, everybody has pretty wigs. And do I have to wear a wig to be a mermaid? And I'm just like, no, your beach hair is fine and everything. And I went to my first gig. I did a mermaid story time. And there was a little girl. And she was beautiful. She had hair like mine. And she sat there for an hour, sitting there. Her mom was stunned. Her mom was like, thank you so much. You have no idea how much this meant to her. And I heard her. She said, Mommy, that girl looks like me. I've never seen a mermaid that looks like me. And I was like, okay, I understand. I gotta do this. So I started there. And so similar to Star Wars, like, oh, like my persona is basically me. I would say maybe more confident, exaggerated, flamboyant me, but I try to be authentic and try to be myself. For me, it's also a celebration of my culture, of my heritage. So I decided, especially with my dry stuff, I really wanted to wear, this is like traditional clothing from Puerto Rico. And then I made it mermaid. So I modified things and I was very intentional. So like I really tried to, oh, I'll say that too. And I had to be super supportive.
Hold on.
So I think it's important, in a place, especially with plus-size bodies, we should take up space. We should be loud, especially right now, because it's scary to be loud and to be proud right now. So I'm hoping it inspires somebody, you know? You shouldn't hide your colors. You shouldn't hide your light. You speak your language. It's beautiful. And that's definitely something I hope inspires somebody one day.
Cheers.
I'm from New Jersey and I'm Italian. I'm also autistic. That doesn't help.
Before I revert back to my list, do any of you all in the audience have any questions for us? Ooh, I got a traveling mic, so I get to do the thing.
So I love that you brought up getting into a monofin. And as a new mer person here, can you please give us your best tips and tricks for getting in and out of a monofin?
What brand are you using?
It depends.
Okay, so personally, Mertailor.
Okay, hi. I love Mertailor fins. My silicone tail is a Mertailor, but also, they're so good. Anyway, okay, this might not be the most advisable thing in terms of necessarily. I kind of just jam my feet against the floor and put my feet in it. I'm so serious. Like, carefully, I make sure, what I make sure to do so that I don't damage it, though I know how to repair it, so do what I say, not what I do. But I make sure that the surface of the monofin is flat up against whatever I'm jamming so that I'm not twisting or stressing the silicone incorrectly. Even though that they put, Mertailor puts in a fabric band, it almost looks like horsehair braid, but it's not, in to really reinforce it. I make sure it's flat against whatever surface I'm putting it on in, and I get my foot most of the way in, and then I push against that wall or that floor and pop my heel in. However, if you are still having difficulties, it is either a sizing issue or you need, there is no friendly way of saying this, you need lube. Like, I'm just gonna, there is no other way for me to say this because I have had, I'm sorry.
Do you want, I think I know.
You know what I'm gonna say because I've said it to you. I'm very interested in like many different subjects, and I know a good bit of lube science in terms of sex education and etc.
The panel for next year.
The only place Astroglide belongs is in a tail. Don't put it in your body. It's a bad idea. The osmolality is wrong, and it can, if things are going too bad, tissue damage. And sorry, thank you. Anyway, you lubing up your feet can help. Sorry.
And bracing against the wall.
Yeah, bracing up against the wall or the floor before you get in. So like go sideways. Oh, sorry.
Jump in.
The Mertailors, I personally I do 1 foot at a time. Some people just shove both feet in, and then I wet my feet first because it'll literally just slip right in, girl. If you have the right size monofin, it'll slip right in and you're good. So
I personally prefer to use something to make my feet slippery. But my biggest hack about Mertailor specifically is there's no reason you can't put the slippery stuff into the foot pocket before your foot goes in. Because if I'm trying to put my feet through the tail, it's all gonna rub off on the sides before it even gets to the pocket. I just reach in, I just squirt straight into the foot pocket, make sure it's on the heel strap, and then just whoop, right in.
You're so right, and also thank you for catching me.
I also think it's much easier, and this might be a plus size person thing, I don't really know, is to put your tail on either sitting or even standing instead of being flat on the ground where you're trying to get your heel over that back ankle strap, because you're just catching on that ankle strap instead of getting into the foot pocket and coming into it from above, you're going into it from the side, and it just does not work.
Yeah.
It can also help to actually have somebody stand on your feet.
Yeah, so you can push against them as well. And also if you're sitting, you can twist to the sides and try and reach down and get your ankle strap as opposed to when you're sitting on the ground, it's much harder.
Sitting, I think, is a really good tip. I think for most, like, okay, so like, I do find Mertailers the easiest amount of them to get into. And I have recently gained whatever amount of weight took me from being like a mid-fat to a large fat. I think I'm like a small large fat, but I am a large fat and I navigate the world differently. Getting in my mom is different. Getting in restaurant booths isn't happening. Getting in airplanes, who's flying? Gas is like $5,000. Well, you guys all flew here. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for flying. I haven't been to a con that's not local in a while. But no, I think sitting, but Mertailers are super easy, but other ones can be challenging. I like to, if I'm getting into a full tail on the pool, like I'm such a like, get into your monofin and like jump in the pool, which is not like our, you know, certified like controlled seated entry, but I'm just like, well, while you're going down, pull your tail up. And definitely my silicone, I prefer to get into in a chair. I can do a sit stand, wiggle, jump, just the whole thing. But that whole do a bridge on the floor, my floor is not doing that. Also, it's a lot of knees, it's a lot of silicone. My tail is 20 pounds. It's a lot going on. Yes. Yeah. But the like sit and bend over, I can reach both ankles like this. But like this, it's not happening. Any other audience? This is cute. I love hanging out in the middle of y'all.
Alternately, if anyone has any other questions about other monofins, like if they want to know, is there an easier way to get into a fin tunnel, Linden, etc. I know some of us have those monofins, so.
So I find like bending the heel strap kind of inside out with other monofins is very helpful because you can actually turn them kind of like inside out and then put your foot in and then put the heel strap back over your heel.
Oh, maybe that's what I should do with my mythic.
Especially with the fins.
Maybe that's what I should do with her mythic.
As someone who just today
Mike.
had to put a as someone who just today had to put a Mertailor spin on in a new tail for the first time, it especially helps to go foot heel, and not foot heel. Get your leg all the way in, get your foot in, get it over the heel, and then get your other foot in, and get that over the heel because it helps not to have you slip off.
Any other audience questions?
I mean, like,
Or comments, sharing.
yeah.
No, it's a question. What is you find the hardest challenge you have when joining a new pod as someone with like a larger body? Do you, how can pods in other regions of, let's say, the United States, or maybe even internationally, be more welcoming to someone of people of different body sizes?
That is a really good question.
I love that. I'll go ahead and my biggest challenge has been like the FOMO of like especially when I was way early on in my mermaid journey, when I had friends that were like had been mermaids for a while and they were like super strong and I was not quite super strong yet. You know, I was still figuring myself out and I worked on it myself some, but like I still struggle with this some. When they're like, hey, we're gonna go on a hike and we're gonna go to this really remote place and then we're gonna like climb to this waterfall. It's gonna be great. We're gonna do these beautiful photos. You're coming, right? And I'm like,
go to a blue hole.
I got this. And then they're like, yeah, we're hiking. We're doing it. And I'm in the back like, we did it. Hey, you okay? Yeah, I got this. This is nice. I got you.
And then we still gotta put on the tail.
And then, oh my gosh, yeah. And it happened more than once where it's like there are people who are very athletic who are mermaids, and that's wonderful. And then there are people who are not very athletic who are mermaids. And I feel like joining a pod, if their expectation is that everybody, that they're just baseline, everyone has the same athletic skill. That is not true. And maybe it was true before you arrived in that pod, but it isn't now. Or, you know, maybe even the reverse, you know. But I feel like just making sure that pods are setting the like making sure that their activities that they are doing, if they're inviting you, and your friends even, are just accessible for everyone who they're inviting to do the thing.
Or like ask.
Yeah, or finding ways around it so that way you can also participate at the same interaction levels. You know, like make it inclusive. If you're going to be swimming in a pool, in a tank, if you like, maybe your pod decided to book a group tank time. Ooh, that'd be really cool, right? But now, like, not everyone can pull themselves out of the tank. Like, how's the person that can't do that going to feel if they get stuck, or if they're just looking at it like, I don't feel comfortable doing that, they don't really get to participate anymore. So like, just making sure that the activities match everybody's level.
Sorry.
I think being mindful of the accessibility of wherever you're choosing to swim, like if this is a recreational pod, you know, like, are there stairs, are there ladders, and like, and it's hard because every body is individual, right? Like, so like different larger bodies have different needs, but like, I'm not pulling myself out of anybody's pool or tank or whatever. So being mindful of that. Also, like, how are you talking about each other? Because it's like, in yourself, right? It's always interesting to like watch people be like, oh my gosh, I'm so fat. And then they can see me and it's like, Shay, yes, queen. I love you, you juicy, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay. So you are so fat and you hate yourself and you need to like not eat dessert tonight or whatever, but somehow I'm great. But it just like kind of lets you know what the culture is and just think about things, right? So like, weirdly, this is like really funny because I just told y'all I like have like sized out of booths. Weirdly, like I don't fit in a Waffle House booth. Would you would just think that Waffle House would be like the most fat friendly place in America? It's not. It's not. And it's not accessible, right? Because you either have the kind of tight booth or you have the high top. So like if you can't get on the high top or the booth, like it's weirdly a not accessible restaurant. It's accessible in other ways though. So I'm a night person, it's open 24 hours. So like we all have different needs, right? So kind of be mindful of your people. Think about like what you have available. And I think about that before you bring people in. We're circus sirens. And like circus siren is like a fun name, but I think the circus and circus siren was everybody was an aerialist until they brought in fat girls. And aerialists can do really cool things that I probably will never be able to do. And so, you know, that when you think about like assumptions about bodies and what they can do, like certain things that if you're an aerialist and you can flip your body upside down and do all of this, it's like, okay, all right, Shay, we like you, you're cool, you smell pretty underwater, can we book you? Where can we book you?
In theory.
Where can we book you? Where can we use you? And so like, I could be a throw mermaid, I can be a little tank mermaid, but not a big tank mermaid. And that's fine if that's a clear conversation, but it can't be like, I think you're so amazing, like let's hang out, but only when you're only on the like backup list.
Going off of what both of them said, for tanks, first of all, how deep is the tank? Are you allowed to put stools in the tank so that you can get out? In terms of hiking and athleticism, even if two people are athletic, like plus size or not, there are different kinds of athleticism. An aerialist and a figure skater are going to be two vastly different types of athletic. They might not be able to do things that the other might be able to do. A track star might not be able to swim any laps at all without running out of breath because they don't know how to do the breath control. Like, it all depends. What pods can do to really make it accessible to everyone is ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you ask it wrong, people will tell you, and then you can make that mistake and move on. We're human. We make mistakes. We learn. Shoot, I lost track of thought.
Ask questions.
Ask questions. It is okay to ask questions. For the gigs thing, like she can do certain gigs. Like, is there a way for you to transfer out of a slightly larger tank? Is there, is it something where I'm going to be actively uncomfortable and or in pain? Like, again, it's always, I think the biggest thing that can be done is ask questions. You are right, Andy. Thank you for.
You said it, I just repeated.
I know, you repeated it though, and that really hit hard. You helped.
We're gonna let Paula get in.
Okay.
No, I like what everybody said. I just want to add, like, if you're going to greet somebody a certain way that is like smaller or something, just make sure you're greeting us the same way. Like, us the same time or the same kind of greeting. Don't be like, all right, cool. But you do that, and I love you for that. You greet everybody the same, and we love you so much. But that's just what I have for that.
Just treat everyone like a person. That is the best thing you can possibly do. And if it's something outside of your realm of experience, ask. It is better even if the person gets a
I'm
little.
gonna see if anybody else has anything else to ask.
No, we just have like a set amount of time.
All right.
No, that makes sense. I'm sorry.
I do, like, I legit love listening to you talk. And also,
So I went to the vendor hall and I was ogling everybody's tails in the pool at the free swim today. And I did notice that a lot of the things in the vendor halls kind of capped out in size. Like, I went to Mertailor and bought the only XL halter top that they had. And I know that they have more online, but as big people, I think being told to shop online is gross. But you all look wonderful, and I'm assuming that everything that you buy ends up being bespoke at this point. Is that the experience that you're having, and do you think that will change in the future of fashion?
I'm gonna jump in because, not because obviously you can buy this at societyfatmermaids.com and you do have to shop online, but it's because I'm everywhere today.
Yes.
And not actually at the vendor hall. So we have free shipping, so that you're not being penalized for me overbooking myself and not wanting to hire. I usually come here with like 5 people, and I'm here with my husband popped in for like an hour, but I'm basically here by myself today. It's like my first like solo con. I mean, like, obviously I'm not alone, but anyways, blah, 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 blah. In 2018, somebody had the great idea to start this thing called Society of Fat Mermaids. And at that time, there was one of her. But because she said society, mermaid culture writ large thought it was like thousands of me, which, like, duh. Like, every time you turn on the news, it's like, Americans are obese, blah, 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 blah. Why are Americans so fat? And everybody's like, wait, there's fat mermaids? And it's like, so now there are thousands of us. But no, truly, one of the greatest honors and pleasures of having Society of Fat Mermaids is I've talked to Candy at Mertailor. We talked about like top fittings. The mer community is small. The makers they're people. They're not corporations, and so we have been able to talk to them. We've even got to have a conversation with Denise, monofin maker. Yeah. Now, did that really change how the fins were made? No, but we got to have the conversation, and like sometimes my mom always says everything starts with a conversation. That's what she said when she's like, "Are you and your husband gonna have kids?" And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Well, just have a conversation." But no, conversations are important. These conversations are important, and yes, I would love everybody to talk about what they got and like from where and what makers they like. But I will say that the availability of larger size things in the mer world has, I believe, been like dramatically improved because Society of Fat Mermaids exists. And I'm getting better about patting myself on the back. And we have been able to have cool conversations with different makers, and it's really awesome. And sometimes it's like somebody's talking about tops, and I'm like, you need to talk to Star, you talk to Cariel, right? Yeah. Does that plus size top exist yet? No, but she's working on it. You're working on it, okay.
I'm working on my own.
Okay.
But once I finish it, so real talk, I bought 2 or 3 Cariel tops at the seaweed sculpt, and I'm gonna cut it with an X-Acto knife and piece together my own thing. If she likes it, I'm gonna be like, so do you want me to make a mold off of this, or because I'll do that for you and I'll send it to Hawaii. We've talked about a lot of different things, like her skirts too, that she turned into a Gap wrap for me. Like we worked pretty intensely on that, and like she would FaceTime me, all different kinds of things. Also, we had that long conversation with Finfolk when they expanded their sizes to be beyond XXL.
Yeah.
We had a long, like 2-hour call with Finfolk, and I think that wouldn't have happened without Society of Fat Mermaids. Genuinely.
So I guess maybe our last-ish question is, where do you like to shop? Where do you get your stuff?
So recently, so today I walked into the vendor hall and I went to buy a piece from the first booth when you walk in that has like kind of cool gothic art. And the person was saying, she's like, I've got this like this top that I'm trying to sell, and like I don't know, like if anyone's gonna buy it. You want to buy a top? I'm like, there's no way it fits. She's like, well, actually, it's plus size top. I'm like, oh, plus size. And here I am wearing it.
It was literally your exact size, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, actually. But to the point though, I feel like the longer that specifically MerMagicCon has like been around, and the more we are seeing more of us plus-sized wonderful humans congregate and come to events and do this kind of stuff, the more of us are buying, like finding the stuff, making the stuff, and then selling like secondhand. Like the secondhand market right now for like plus-size things is so much better than when I was a baby. Like I'm shocked. I'm
Also,
finding things that fit me.
GLP-1s are good for anything. It's good for more secondhand plus-size stuff, which is a whole very complicated and nuanced conversation. However,
we're on limited time.
Where is the secondhand market?
On Facebook.
Okay.
Basically, the entire community is on Facebook.
There are buy-sell trade groups.
Yeah. Okay, I know not every beginner is into silicone, and that is okay. But for those who are looking for silicone tops, I am biased. Mermaid v. Kiki von Mermaids, fantastic. I am a 42L, and she has made tops for me. This is not one of them. This is a maker that no longer exists. Yeah. Her top is Kiki. I like shopping at. Okay, Finfolk has some pretty decent apparel. It goes to a pretty decent size as far as tops, and their leggings are great. I'm wearing their leggings. I do like shopping at Society of Fat Mermaids. A lot of the places I've gone don't exist anymore for various reasons, gestures of the economy. But in the last 8 years, especially as MerMagic has existed, and we know how many plus-size mermaids are out there, more and more options are out there. You just gotta find them. More and more tail companies are offering extended sizing. Like I said earlier, Finfolk didn't only used to go to a double XL? You're the Finfolk expert.
It's like a single XL.
A single XL. And it was neoprene, which is not as stretchy as the spacer fabric that spacer neoprene.
We're gonna keep pushing because we're over.
Yeah, sorry.
Cool.
Thank
Anybody?
Finfolk was already said, and I'm Finfolk, so.
You're Finfolk? Wow.
Sorry, just again, I really I'm gonna get a Kiki top suit.
Yeah.
So that, yes. And also, I like the long line Finfolk sports bras. I think they're really nice, especially for training. But even if you want to do a unit, sure, go for it. So honestly, I just use a lot of plus size swimwear, and I'll modify them. So it's just to keep this imagery.
Yeah.
I use like the flounce style. So that could be something you can try. You can just use regular swimsuits. I like unique vintage.
Where do you buy from?
I bought different places and they were already mentioned.
Fair.
My favorite for tops is definitely layering. So,
that too.
you know, cute little itty bitty thing, maybe one of those plenties upstairs, but over something else. It can add for fun texture. All right. We're gonna take a quick group photo. Claudia, it looks like you're on it. Thank you. And then we're gonna take a whole team photo, including audience. We'll be all like, Fat Mermaids, make waves. Does everybody know that thing? Okay, so I say Fat Mermaids, and then you say
Make waves!
All right, yeah, it's great. Mr. Mickles, can I give you the phone?
Not my last name, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
We love you, Nichols.
Oh,
All right. What's the best way to do this? I guess everybody stand and look at the sky. Like everybody. Like audience, yeah. Because we're a whole nerd family. Also, we're having a We're having a group swim
Should we
in
group up
25
behind
minutes.
y'all? Would that be better? That would be better.
What are we doing?
We're gonna. Okay, we're gonna sit. Everyone's gonna stand behind us.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Yay.